Hello again, thanks for joining. This is the only locomotive I bought this year at Monorail Scotland. It's an Athearn model of a GP60, obviously in Norfolk Southern livery. Now, I don't normally do American stuff on this channel, but I did like this model and it was only £18 as well. I thought it was quite a bargain. Now, it did have some problems noted on the card. I got this from Ellis Clark Trains and they included that in the bag. So in this video, we're going to see if we can get this locomotive up to scratch and also modify it a little bit. So the model does look in really good condition. It is an old Athearn model from the blue box era. It's supposedly got lighting and the ticket said it stutters a little bit. We'll give it a go on a test track in a moment. Also looked up this in real life and saw that the handrails down the side here, which are in metal on this model, are all painted black in real life, apart from at the steps where it would be painted yellow. So we're going to try and replicate that on this model with these handrails. But I think the first thing we should do is put this on a piece of test track and see how it runs. Okay, so as normal, this is just some old Hornby third radius track that I've got, and I'm giving it power with my H&M controller on 12 volts DC. So let's give it some juice and see what happens. Well, I didn't expect that. It said on the ticket that it was going to be stuttering and didn't run very well, but it actually runs absolutely perfectly. It's almost like it's a brand new motor or something. I'm going to open this up anyway and let's have a look and see what we've got in the chassis. Well, it's your typical Athearn chassis here. It's all made of metal with the central motor here, two flywheels, all-wheel drive and pickup, and we've got lighting at the front here. This bulb isn't very bright, but it does actually work. This isn't brand new, you can see that there's some wear there on the motor. So I'm going to give that a clean up, even though it doesn't need it. But aside from that, I think I've done really well with this locomotive. I took a gamble because it said it wasn't running that great, so they must have miscategorized this model, but that's a bonus for me. Anyway, let's just give that motor a bit of a clean.
A few moments later.
So I think that'll do. I do really like working on these Athearn chassis, so the next step for this is to fit some couplings to it, but I'll do that later. We'll move on to the body. So with this, we're going to paint the handrails. Now, I could take them off of the body shell, but I'm actually just going to paint them in situ because it's a bit of a pain to get them off and then back on again if you don't need to. So that's the next step. Okay, so I think that turned out pretty good. I've got the handrails all painted in black. I've added in the yellow at these points here, and also the little steps have little yellow markings on the edges of them as well, so I've added that in too. So I think that's really improved the look of this model. So the next step is to fit some couplings onto the chassis here. I don't actually have the correct little clips to hold the couplings in here in stock, and they're looking like they're quite difficult to get on eBay. I can't seem to find them anywhere in the UK, although I can find them in America and Canada, but it's a lot to ship them over. However, in my spares box, I do have these couplings and also these little pockets for them, which clip together. Now, I've already test fitted these onto here, and it doesn't fit quite well, but I think if I sand these down a little bit, I should be able to make them fit. So I'm going to sand those down next and see if I can get these together. So there it is, all back together, and we've got some couplings on it now as well. Before I put it back on the test track, just to make sure it still works, I'm going to put it on the scales and see how much it weighs. So this model comes in at 411 grams. Well, that's great. It still runs perfectly and it's hauling some wagons as well, or at least one wagon. So this GP60 is ready to go now. I did take a bit of a gamble when I bought this model and I did think it was a bit cheap, so I didn't have high hopes for it, but it turned out to be an absolute perfect model. And with these little additional bits of painting here and there and a little bit of fix up with the couplings, we've managed to change this into something which looks pretty good, I think. I do think Athearn's blue box era locomotives were really, really good. This one was probably produced back in the 80s, I think, maybe early 90s perhaps, and yet it still runs perfectly today. And the mechanism is actually really good with its twin flywheels and the motor, all-wheel drive and all-wheel pickup. It just performs absolutely great on the track. I've had a few of these in my time. I've still got some in my collection collection and they all run great, and it's really testament to what Athearn managed to produce back in the day. Yes, there's more things that could be done to this. We could upgrade the lighting to LEDs, maybe put in an interior and a driver as well, and possibly some snow plows or more jumper cables or something like that at the front. So there's still more we could do to enhance this model, but as it currently looks, I think this is pretty good. But what do you think about this model? Let me know in the comments below. I'm interested to hear what your thoughts are. And if you liked this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It really helps this channel. I'm going to put this on the turntable so you can see all the way around, and in a moment another video will appear, so just click on that and I'll see you there. But that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. See ya.
So model trains, model worlds, choo choo, model trains, in tiny worlds, choo choo. So model trains, model worlds, choo choo, model trains, in tiny worlds, choo choo.